Welcome to the feed. We're just kind of BSing right now, guys, so if there's anything you want to add or you'd like to chat about, I'm getting ready to actually go offline in the next few minutes, but we're just trying to discuss. I'm on Xbox One. I have a couple of gentlemen in the party, a couple of my viewers and followers that we've been playing with, and we're just kind of BSing and trying to figure out what I'm trying to figure out what my schedule is going to be for the next few days. So, yeah. Hopefully, everybody. Hopefully, this announcement. Here's what bothers me. I'm gonna throw this out here. What I'm afraid of. This is what I'm afraid of. Is as far as a Destiny announcement. I really doubt it's gonna be a negative one. I'm pretty positive it's gonna be a good one. But the real kicker. Here's the real kicker. You know. And if they do release early, if they release early, it's probably only going to be for digital distribution right away. So if you bought it digitally, you're going to get, they're basically going to unlock it and let you guys play, or let us play, because I did buy it digitally. Digital Guardian Edition. Anyway, so if it was... I mean, they can easily contact all of their distributors, like any of the European game stores, as far as the big markets like Walmart and Target and all those guys. It doesn't take much for them to communicate with everybody, because I mean, you'd be surprised at how many people are actually working on the backside of all the game distribution. There's amazing groups of people that bust their ass so that we can have our games, and I would like to give a shout out for all of those people. Thank you guys for making sure that we get our games on time. I know most of them, there's probably not going to be any of them that are ever hear this, but you never know, somebody might have a friend or they might be one of their kids, right? And it just, you know, even if one person that works in one of those distribution centers or along that line, if they have their hand in the honey pot, so to speak, here's this, you know, thank you, really, truly, thank you for busting your butt to make sure that we get our games on time, or at least get notified if there's going to be a delay in a timely manner. You know, there's a lot of game companies out there that don't do that, but it's getting better than it used to be. It used to be like days before, it would be like, oh yeah, sorry, we have to delay it. And everybody's like, mother beep! I want my game! Everybody raid the GameStop! Which I can't say that because that has actually happened. So, pretend I didn't say that. I'm not promoting a raiding of a GameStop. Friday for the Xbox One. Today for the PlayStation 4. Yes. If you do not have a license, if you're not doing a license transfer, yes. No, it's not. Where? Oh, look at that, Minecraft Xbox One Edition. Oh, wow, that's a glitch. Don't buy it, guys. Don't buy it. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Well, it's a glitch. Basically, it will charge you $200. So essentially, what they did is they put a price holder in there, hoping that nobody will buy it. So basically, they're loading the game in the system. So I'm gonna go ahead and pin this, but I'm not gonna click buy. Yeah. So that happens from time to time. Essentially, that's just a placeholder, and there is people that, I'm not going to say they're dumb enough to click it, but I'm going to say that there's people out there that just say, oh, there's Minecraft, click. Or, oh, look, there's this game. It's pre-orderable. Click. And then they call up Microsoft and go, you guys charged me $200 for a game. Well, it was a placeholder. What they should just do is do 0.00, but they don't do that. Because if they did 0.00, unfortunately, databases freak out sometimes. And yeah, it would end up issuing it for free. So they do the high, they basically do the high amount, because if you clicked buy right now, it would charge you, but then when they went through and did the reconciliation for it, you'd only be charged what you were supposed to be charged, if that makes any sense at all. So so basically here, if you have a credit card or debit card or anything like that, there's two transactions that go through. You have your first transaction, which pings your account, right? So that's generally, for credit, it's generally $1. For debit, it's usually the full amount. So it'll basically ping your account for the $200 if you have a debit account right off the bat. And then once it reconciles a couple days later, once they actually get the money, because the money doesn't actually, despite popular belief, the money does not instantly transfer and change hands. It takes days for that to happen. So once the reconciliation happens, which, by the way, that's why a lot of companies recommend debit purchases as opposed to credit purchases, because debit purchases generally, not all the time, directly change hands between the parties. Not always, but credit usually has at least one other hand in the honeypot. So that's where you get those fees tacked on. You start to see when you go to buy gas or whatever, they'll have a cash and debit card price, and then they'll have a credit card price. If you ever seen that, that's the reason why. They're going to charge you a little bit more to recoup for those fees for that third-party provider that does the intermediary. So yeah, debit is good, but bad in this case. It's good in general, bad in this case, because if you don't have $200 in your account to sit for a couple weeks, or days or weeks, depending on how up the system is, yeah, that could be bad. So, thank you for noticing that, by the way. Are you really? Are you really gonna do that? I was gonna say, everybody, we have a dude in here that's about to pay $200 for Minecraft, even if it's for just a couple of days. That's ridiculous. There is people out there that'll go, I want it now. I'm gonna click this and buy it. Parents, that is why you always password protect your child's purchases. Always password protect your child's purchases. Don't get upset at... Yes. Yep. You don't even know what to do with yourself, do you? Yes, right now, boy. No, you go to bed now. Go to bed. Right now. Streamer's orders. You go to bed right now, or you'll get a 24-hour ban. Just my stream, yes. I'm joking. Valerian root, dude. Valerian root works for just about everybody, and it's an herbal. You can get it in any grocery store, generally. You can literally get it at any pharmacy. What, Minecraft? Oh, you found something new and you're too excited. See, and this is what we're gonna end up doing in this feed. I will learn the systems for you and tell you how to play them properly. So How many people are getting Destiny, by the way? I know there's a couple other viewers in the feed. I know Joker's in here, which you're in the chat, so I'm not gonna count what you say. uh-huh. But anybody that's going to be getting Destiny, please, by all means, join us. We already have like 2 or 3 full fire teams, but it would be cool, nonetheless, to be able to chat with more. Unfortunately, for Xbox Live, we're limited to 8 people in chat. So, yeah. You didn't know that? Well, you know, he got an Xbox One. He was excited, and he thought. Well, here's the thing. He thought all of the features. He basically thought he got a gutted Xbox. That's what it comes down to. Oh. It'll actually, even if you pushed A, it would still ask you for like which card and whatnot you want to use it off of. So you have a couple of chances to back out. You were trying to yes, just tell your parents. Was like, yeah, I don't know what happened. I was supposed to get it for $5. How did it do 200? Right. Bad Xbox. Bad Xbox. Try to charge me $200 for Minecraft. Here's right? I don't know how many times I've said that. For those of you just joining us, one of our viewers and followers, Michael 420 or Mike 421, you'll see him in the chat. He's actually his mind is blown because he just got introduced to the Smart Glass app on the Xbox. He actually has one of the Xbox that does not have a Kinect. So. You know, you could also do that from your computer, right? He wrote, "Hi, you're a dork." In the candy store, I swear. Tough Guy's still online? Dad is online, what the heck? So yeah, we're just BSing here. Oh, Chad's still playing Diablo. I knew he'd get addicted to that. That's so funny. I'm gonna try to get all of those guys. I'm gonna try to mob as many people in Minecraft for Xbox One as possible. And we're gonna try to rock a huge build. Plus the fact that most of these people have not. Plus the fact that most of the guys who I'm going to invite and try to get them to get it. What? He's a little too excited, isn't he? He's like hyperventilating. Do you need a brown paper bag? See, if your mind's blown... Right, dude, if your mind is blown now, try to the Xbox One with an actual Kinect. That's configured. Smart Glass is cool. I'm telling you right now, the Kinect is better. And a lot of people will try to say, like Tom, absolutely, he got rid of his Kinect. Tell me this. Tell me this. Okay, this is a question. Right. This is a question for my viewers. You know, you get an Xbox One, you get the Kinect and whatnot. Why would you not sit on it at least until they work out the kinks? He decided to this guy that I play with decided to get rid of his Kinect, sell it. Which, mind you, he probably sold it on eBay and probably got like $50 for it. So he got $50 for something that sells for like $150. Because he didn't want to sit on it, he didn't want to use it, he thought it was stupid. So he never properly configured it, even though I mentioned multiple times what he needed to do to configure it properly, and the fact that each time you move the Kinect, because it has that parabolic, it actually has multiple microphones in that sensor, the microphone bar below the actual sensor itself, and every time you move it, every time, even if it's just a few inches, you need to recalibrate it. Why? Because of the fact that it has multiple microphones and it reads and listens off of every reflection or refraction of sound waves off of anything that's in your room. So even here, it's insanely complicated. The math behind it is shut up. is well beyond me. But it's not only that. It's not only when you move your Kinect. What people don't realize is it's furniture too. So if you move your furniture, if you add something to the wall, or you add a new curtain, or you put new pillows on your couch, or you change your couch out, or you have, I don't know, if you have any major amount of movement from your main gaming area or the room, you need to recalibrate your Kinect. That way, it'll detect your sound, it'll detect how you're speaking properly each time. The other thing I recommend for people to do, they have that Sound Studio now, or the Kinect Studio, or whatever it's called now. You go, or Voice Studio, I think it's called. Whatever it is. Basically, you look for it in the store if it's not installed on your Xbox. It should be installed on everybody's Xbox. I believe that's how they rolled it out, but I can't be 100% on that. Don't quote me. If you run through that, do everything that it tells you to do, it'll actually submit your particular sound file to Microsoft. So that way they can calibrate the next software update to as many people as possible. So that way, the more people that they calibrate to, the more accurate it's going to be for everybody. So it's not just that one particular person's room or that one particular... I typed this... Michael. Everybody, Michael. He is absolutely blown away from smart glass. Anyway, so you're a fruit, dude. Yeah, but have you seen how bad some of the autocorrects are? You can hope for the best autocorrect in the world, but if you just hit enter after it and not proofread what you wrote, there's going to be some bad stuff being said to people. But yeah, anyway. It might work. Anyway, people, anybody that watches this video once I upload it to YouTube, or anybody that's listening now, please, by all means, if you have a Kinect, please calibrate it. And if you get a chance, please go through and do that, the Voice Studio or whatever it's called. Just go through it. It uploads the data. It is anonymous. So don't be too concerned about them recording your voice or listening in. It helps us all, not just yourself. It helps all of us. And the more situations, the more rooms they calibrate to, the better things are going to get for all of us. The other thing we all need to be requesting, this is a huge feature we all need to be, you can go to feedback.xbox.com, and actually if you have anything that you want to request as far as features, or anything that you have ideas of, like I've actually had a couple ideas that I've sent to them, which I need to get on there, and I have a couple tweaks for those ideas. One of my ideas was having able to, your snap window, right? One of my ideas was making it so that we can change the opacity of that smart window. So essentially, if we had another app, like let's say Game DVR running, we could actually make it almost completely translucent and have it still on the screen. So that way we can still play our game, but also still have that function. Another option would be to make it so that we could drag, if we had smart glass, imagine being able to take those snapped apps and be able to have widgets and be able to move the Game DVR widget into a certain area of the screen and leaving it there. How cool would that be? I know they've been doing some of it, hence the ability to record your stuff from your mobile device via smart glass, whether it be on a tablet or your mobile phone. But anyway, going back to it, if you have any ideas, go to feedback.xbox.com and make sure you post any cool things that you have. Even if you don't think that most people will like it, you'd be very surprised about how many people like each other's ideas. And you might not be the only one that's thinking of that particular idea. There could be several people thinking of the same idea. So go to feedback.xbox.com and submit your request. And it will be, if it gets upvoted. Here's the biggest feature that I think needs to come to Xbox One, and they've been hinting at it for quite a while now, and I know they're testing on the Windows mobile devices, and it's going to be a while before we actually see it on Xbox. But I do know that it's going to come eventually. But we just need to keep hammering Microsoft until they actually release it. Cortana. Can anybody tell me that the Xbox, how huge of a benefit would Cortana be to the entire Xbox user interface? Not just the way that it functions, but imagine it being able to communicate to you. Back to you. When it, not only would it be able, because the Kinect can already see you. I mean, if you have your stuff calibrated to actually recognize your face and whatnot under different lighting conditions, which yes, I am in a dungeon. It's not really a dungeon, but everybody tells me this is the dungeon, and I will be getting a lamp. I just have to go to storage to get it. The Ghost Pepper stories, yes. Where I pranked my boss with a ghost pepper. It wasn't just me, though, so it's not me to blame. Shh. You started that conversation, so you shouldn't be asking for stories if you didn't want to hear it. That was like the first conversation you ever said in the chat. Anyway, getting back on topic. Once Cortana launches for the Xbox, I really believe that it would be the absolute turning point for next gen, as far as taking the Xbox to that absolute next level. Because having a multimedia device that not only can understand your habits, like what you like and what you don't like, having it be able to communicate to you and recognize. A lot of people don't know this. Kinect is actually able to recognize your mood. I don't know how many of you actually know that. Kinect is actually able to read your mood, not just it's the expression on your face, and also your remember how it's able to how one of the features of it is able to actually detect your heartbeat. You know that, right? Right. It's yes and no. That's not right. Yeah, we've had this conversation before. You can actually listen. It was what, like a week ago? It was about 50 minutes. There's about a 50-minute. Oh yes, I broke it all down to everybody, and I explained everything to you. So I mean, if you look back a few days ago, you'll be able to listen to it, and you'll be able to hear the whole thing. I have a little bit more knowledge than most people do when it comes to the things that are being done behind our backs. So, and that's all I'm gonna leave it at. Here's the thing: the majority of that stuff is scare tactics. So you being afraid of them listening through your Kinect, don't be. You should be more concerned about, right, if you have nothing to hide, who cares? Right, your mobile phone, ATM. Turning it off isn't enough. You actually have to remove the battery. Right. The other thing that can be done now is it's been in testing for a few years through DARPA and a couple of universities. Is your Wi-Fi networks or your neighbor's Wi-Fi networks can actually identify where you are in your house based on the movement of air. How? Yeah. But on top of that, it actually goes even farther than that. There's testing being done so that they can using the Wi-Fi signals and the way the air moves, they can shoot a laser at your window and actually detect the reverberations of your movement. So they can actually hear and translate your entire conversation, they don't even have to see you. So if you really want to be afraid of stuff like that. But don't be afraid you're stupid. Right. Who cares? I don't like talking about this stuff. I don't like talking about this stuff because it scares people. Don't be afraid of your Connect. Let's use it. Let's make this platform better. Those concerns you need to bring up with your elected officials. Right. Well, if you're concerned about your privacy, you need to bring it up with your elected officials. Plain and simple. If you're a voter, your parents are a voter, bring it up with them. Don't be afraid of your Connect. Basically, if you're afraid of your Connect, it's not only going to hurt your user experience, it's going to hurt us all. So, if you have a Connect, leave it plugged in, use it. Don't be afraid of it. For me, here's what I do. You guys will see me. Anybody that watches this stream will see me every now and then because I am a stay-at-home dad. You'll see me every now and then. I'll say I need to pause. I'll be back in 5 minutes, or I'll just be right back. I have an 11-month-old, a 5-year-old, and an 11-year-old. Managing them throughout the day is kind of a pain in the butt, but I do it and I game and I stream. We are a media-centric family. We spend a lot of time doing video games, so it just made sense to start live streaming. That being said, going back to it, I actually bought one of the Xbox Live, the privacy shields. So all you do is mute your mics, throw the privacy shield on. Anybody that comes into your chat or anybody, basically I use it when I'm live streaming. Because if I kill the feed temporarily, some people don't come back. So once we start to build a user base, things will get better. People will start to understand what's going on. Unfortunately, with anybody that's viewing on a console, you can't see my profile. You can't see that I'm a stay-at-home dad. You can't see that I take breaks regularly. You might just see me. Anyone want to join? Oh. I'm sure they're just in here listening. Or hoping that I was going to play games. But unfortunately, guys, I'm actually... we're just BSing right now. We're going to be killing the feed as soon as I am ready to. I'm not going to play anymore tonight, so if you're in here to watch me play, I will be playing again tomorrow morning. Starting at 12 p.m. Pacific time. Hopefully 12 p.m. Pacific time, because anyway, so smart glass, you're a fruit, dude. Yeah, anybody that wants to learn about smart glass, you want to learn the features of how it works. If you have questions, as our new buddy Joker learned, you have questions, just ask them, and I'll do my best to either find the information. I'll either answer it directly, or I'll try to find you the information. It's important for me as far as gaming is concerned that people have as accurate information as possible, regardless of the platform. Even if you have questions on the PlayStation, I do have some of my audience that is PlayStation people. So if you have PlayStation questions, I will make sure that they get asked to the right people. So, well, we have another person that has a PlayStation then. That's awesome, dude. Of course he wants it. What games do you play on it? Anyway, if anybody, whoever's been in here, if you like the stream, I know you haven't seen my gameplay yet, but by all means, if you want to see how I play, check out my previous posts, my previous feeds. I have a lot of hours. I'm just gonna say a lot. The days that they allow me to save on Twitch directly does not do justice of how many hours I actually have. Just been broadcasting over the last month. If you'd like to see some of that, just go to my YouTube account, Phoenix Cryos. It's youtube.com/PhoenixCryos. Check them out, and yeah, you'll hear some of these discussions. They tend to last a little longer than they should, but we do have some decent conversations towards the end of the stream. And I think that's important to do. That's one of the things that I do notice in some of the better streams, that once the person, as they're done gaming and they get to the end, as they're getting ready to get off, they generally open the floor to questions, and it's just general BSing until the person's ready to get off, and that's kind of what we're doing right now. And making the right. It should come eventually. Well, you won't have server IPs just because they're not going to allow. Here's the thing: if they allow the cloud, we're talking about Minecraft now. We went ahead and shifted back to that because we have been talking about Minecraft throughout the night, especially since it just launched today on the PlayStation 4. And at least in Europe, and it is actually launching in North America in the next few hours. So woohoo to all of our PlayStation people and any of the fans, and to you own one. Why are you saying boo? You got boo PlayStation. Don't even give me that. You like your console. You like it. PS4 is good. It's not bad. Me personally, once I get a PS4, the first thing I plan on doing is throwing a solid state drive in it. Make faster stuff even faster. You should. Why? Yeah, but can't you plug it in externally and transfer the stuff? Well, here's what you need to do. Yeah, try to see if the PS4 has external hard drive support. If it does, hopefully they'll let you format that external drive. So what you should be able to do is take all that stuff that you've installed and transfer it over the external drive. Then pull the main drive out, put your solid state drive in. It'll do the format, and then transfer everything back over, and you should be golden, buddy. In theory, we're gonna do the parentheses thing, because in theory, it doesn't always work that way. Especially anybody that has ever modded a console before. In theory. The last console I modded was the PS3. It was a soft mod. I jailbroke that bad boy. Which I do want to give a shout out to GeoHot. Anybody that doesn't know who GeoHot is, Google it. George Hotz, the original person that jailbroke him and his team, not just him, was the original group that jailbroke the iPhones. He's also the one that produced the jailbreaks for the PlayStations. And ended up incidentally getting arrested and sued by Sony, and then ended up working for them for a short time, and is now working for Google on their Project Zero, which if you don't know what Project Zero is, I definitely recommend you looking that up. It's the team that's basically looking for... Project Zero is essentially... That team is dedicated to finding malware, basically anything that's... Any holes in software, any holes in protocols, any bugs in your everyday apps, and they are submitting not only where the bugs are, but how to fix them to their owners, and that is the entire purpose of it. They are trying to make not only a better internet, but yes, Project Zero is awesome, and the fact that they have somebody. I mean, George Hotz, he's a young gentleman. He's he's not even in his 30s yet. He's early to mid 20s, I believe, and absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant doesn't even do him justice. I mean, the kid hacked the low-level memory on a PlayStation, man. Getting access to that kind of stuff and having the background and knowledge, even if he got that knowledge from other people, the fact that he utilized it and was able to hack a console and release that information to people. He also is one of the gentlemen that provided the hacks for some of the newer, I should say, root functionality for some of the Samsung devices, which is pretty sweet. Some of the loopholes and stuff for some of the new security protocols. Oh. Project Zero, yeah. If anybody that has not had a chance to look up Project Zero, check that out. I highly recommend keeping an eye on that, because I really think, a lot of people don't like Google, but the fact that they're throwing funds in to try to make software better, not just their software, but they're caring about everybody, huh? Bing is better. Bing is not better. I have a friend that he will not use anything but Bing, and anybody that ends up playing Minecraft with us will end up meeting him. His gamer tag is Midnighter Dave. Dave, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, dude, but I gotta say, he absolutely will only use Bing, but he uses Bing because they reward him for every search. Come on, Microsoft, you gotta pay people. Like, you get points, and then you can turn those points into other things, like Xbox Live points. And you can turn it, not points, but like credit and month subscriptions and things like that. So, well, here's what would be kind of cool. If you could link that Bing service to the Xbox, so every time you said Bing and used it, you got paid for it, that would be cool. But unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. No, you just say Xbox Bing. Yeah, you have no idea what to do. So. What else to talk about before I get off? Oh, it's the Minecraft. So you watched a little bit of the footage. Did you see horses or donkeys or mules or anything like that in it? No. Yeah, horses. I want horses. I want horses really bad. I also hope that they add in some of the new stones and the minerals. What I really hope more than anything is I hope they add in the new biomes, because I know right now on the PC version there is dozens of new biomes. Let's all hope. Let's all hope. We need more biomes than just what? Aren't we up to like 4 on the console? We have desert. We don't even have marshland. It's basically plains, mountains, and jungle. Woo. Whose profile? Oh, on the Xbox, yeah. It transfers over. Everything.